What do you have? It's your boy, Newfie Steve, back at it again, and today I'll be showing you guys my sword and shield on Monster Hunter Wild. So let's dive in. Now, before we start how I play sword and shield, we're going to quickly go over my build. Using max attack boost, plus 3 to critical boost, 5 to agitator, also using some maximum might, as you can see right now. With some other buffs, I have 60% affinity. It do go up a little higher, I do believe. And we're also using Wind to Burst, Wind to Counter-Strike, Wind to Coalescence, and Wind to Antivirus. These are still pretty important, even though they just got one slot. And we also use free meal. I like to use free meal because it's going to save you on materials, because I use a lot of Mega Demon Drug, Might Seed, stuff to increase your attack power. That's pretty well it. It's pretty simple. I'm using 4-piece gore for the set bonus. I use the Udra Pants for plus 1 to burst. And I also have this hunting horn as my second weapon, just for the attack up large if I choose to do it, which I don't often, but it's, if you want to min max, this is something you can do. And this is just a quick look at my jewels. Now, I will say, sword and shield, I never played it a lot in World. I will say it's probably one of the best weapons in the game, and the reason for that is it has quick attacks with high damage, and it has great mobility, and it can block. So it can do everything you need to do to defend yourself against monsters and give you good reaction speeds. I think it's one of the best weapons in the game. It might not be the best at speed clearing, but it is up there on the list. It's pretty good. But I will say, for the average player and most players, sword and shield will do you great. As you can see, I use a damage counter, and I only use this so I can judge where I'm to against most people damage-wise. If I'm playing the build totally wrong, if there must be something I'm doing wrong. I just use it to gauge where I'm at. I never use it against other players. If you're going to use something like this, don't ever harass players for not doing damage, blah, 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 whatever. I use this just for me. That's it. Now, to get into the sword and shield, it has many combos. And I'm going to start with probably your highest damage. So on PC, it would be your right click. And on controller, I do believe it would be your B. So this is your right click, and we're going to do this until we go into our spinning slash. So you can see that's some pretty good damage for a quick weapon. Now, when you do your spinning slash, this one, you're going to do another one by pressing left and right click at the same time, or Y and B together after your spinning slash. So you'll do this, and then another one. Bam! Big damage, 216. And I got some sharpness to recover. So that probably might be a little more. So let's try that again. Okay. Do another one. 254 for a sword and shield. That's big numbers. Then after you do your second spinning slash, you can actually go into your chop. We'll do our chop normally as we would now, to just show you guys the damage difference. So we're getting a lot of between 60s to 50s there. So 40s to 50s. But if you do your chop after your spinning slash, the damage will be way higher. So let's do it. See, a lot of hundreds plus, 122s, 100. That was big damage. My favorite combo to do the chop with is to do your double spinning slash and then into your chop. So 255, bam. Then a lot of hundreds plus. So it's big damage. Another good thing I like about sword and shield is you can go into flight mode. So just by holding your right click or your B button and holding back, you'll go into this. You hold it until it charges, and it'll flop you up. Now you don't need to wait for the full charge. You can go back, and as soon as it glows, bam, let go, and bam, into your thrust. So that's pretty cool. So you can also use your right click up in the air. So this is doing your Y and B, or your left and right click at the time to do your thrust. But if you just right click, you will use your shield, which is great to have. That's going to give you some knockback damage. That's pretty well it for your airborne. Now I will say another high damage combo. It's pretty simple. See how quick I'm attacking? I'm just doing left click, right click, left click, left click. It might not like seem like a butt ton of damage, but it is a butt ton of damage for how quick it attacks, and you can just stay attacking. Right, so you get a lot of damage. That is just actually probably one of your best combos, just to keep spamming your easy moves, because once you get started, it starts attacking very quick, and you just stay at that pace. And as quick as that, I got 3,000 damage in. It's one of my favorite combos. It's all I do. And when you're doing that, it's also very easy to go into your block. So you're not stuck in any animations. You just go right into your block. It's one of your best combos. It's what I use mostly. It actually gonna get in some of your best damage that way, because the monsters are always moving and doing different things. You're not always going to be able to get off your strong airborne attacks or your chop. So using your basic attacks in a good rotation just to keep fast slashing is some of your best damage moves. And that's pretty well all I got to say about Sword and Shield. Overall, it's a pretty easy weapon to learn, but just learning it can take some time. Like I said about mobility too, if you're holding over while slashing, you will move. It's so easy to reposition yourself as Sword and Shield. You also have your sliding slash, which for PC it's hold R and your left click, bam. And that's pretty well it. That covers most things with Sword and Shield. If you are up in the monster's face, you do want to be using your shield bashes. And you can also go into your spinning slash after your third shield bash. So, Sword and Shield, very effective, high damage. It can knock the monster over pretty easily. Great blocking, great mobility. It can do everything you need it to do. That's pretty well it. I'm going to show you guys a quick fight to show you how I do as Sword and Shield. We're going to do a quick Tempered Jihad. Just to show you guys what Sword and Shield damage is like overall. I feel like this is a long fight, and you'll be able to see the kind of difference Sword and Shield has to some other weapons in multiplayer. Now you can see why I use the damage counter. I don't know how accurate it is. I will not claim that I'm like better than anybody, but this tells me I'm doing something right. It says I'm doing more damage than most people. I'll take that. Maybe they come out with a better one in due time. We'll see how that goes, but this is what gives me a rough idea if I'm doing anything right. That's it. So I hope this video helped anybody using Sword and Shield or want to use it. It's one of the best weapons in the game. That's all I got to say about it. Hit the subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.